And the horses are on the track for the upcoming owned by Linda and Robert Kenny. The driver, Bruce Ranger. Number 2, Platoon Sealster, owned by Lisa Stewart, driven by Drew Monty. Number 3, Explosive Ridge, owned by Eaton McHugh, Griffin, and Young, the driver, Nick Raffam. Number 4, 4A Dreamer, owned by William Muggleston, the driver, Jay Randall. Once One for All, number 5, owned by Lisa Watson, driven by Wally Watson. Number 6 is LD's Yo-Yo Ma, owned by Emery Pelletier, Drew Campbell driving. And number 7, Sortie Hanover, owned by William McIlvaine Jr., Kevin Switzer Jr., and the Sulky. And behind the gate. And they're off from the inside. Explosive Ridge going out for the lead. There goes LD Yo-Yo Ma also on the move. It's for A Dreamer. Down inside, Jericho comes away racing in fourth. Length back to Platoon Sealster. Followed by One Swan for All. And true in the field, that's Sortie Hanover. Paddock turned the first time, driving up on the outside with a rush. Here comes 4A Dreamer. And 4A Dreamer on the outside comes on to get the lead. Opening quarter on the board goes in 28-1. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Jay Randall puts 4A Dreamer on top by a length. Explosive Ridge is second. Down inside, LD's Yo-Yo Ma trotting third. Gap of a length and a half to Jericho fourth. Next in line, Platoon Sealster, followed by One Swan for All. Your trailer is Sortie Hanover as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Meadowlands Invader, 4A Dreamer. On the front end, shown the way by a full length. It's Explosive Ridge right there, racing in second. LD's Yo-Yo Ma towards the inside. Ground saving third. Halftime goes in 57-2. They straighten out down the backstretch. 4A Dreamer still with the lead. Explosive Ridge right there, tucked in. Racing in second up on the outside. Racing third. Here comes Jericho, locked in towards the inside. LD's Yo-Yo Ma up on the outside. Second over, Platoon Sealster. Racing in fifth, 3/4 up in 125-3. They're on the final turn. 4A Dreamer in command. Explosive Ridge giving chase in hot pursuit, racing in second up on the outside. 3 wide from the back of the pack. It's Platoon Sealster. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. 4A Dreamer has opened up a 2-length lead. Explosive Ridge tries to gain ground on the outside towards the inside. LD's Yo-Yo Ma, but in deep stretch, it's going to be 4A Dreamer in front. Explosive Ridge was second. LD's Yo-Yo Ma was third. Trained by Rockin' Rob Harmon and driven to victory by Jay Randall. For a Dreamer, trotting the Once One for All. And the horses are on the track for the upcoming second race. A condition for race number 2. Number 1 is Smooth Acceleration, owned by William Phipps, driven by Mark III. Number 2, Cupcake Boss, owned by Cheryl Bartlett, driven by Luke Hanners. Number 3 is Keystone Orion, owned by Gary Barberi, the driver Sean Gray. Number 4, Mad Dog, owned by Michelle and Jeffrey Nelson, driven by Heath Campbell. Chav Hanover, number 5, owned by Dennis Whittemore, driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 6 is Omaha, owned by Eaton McHugh, Griffin, and Young, the driver Jay Randall. Number 7 is Dazzling Lindy, owned by the DeStefano and Son stable, Drew Campbell driving. And number 8, Northern Credit, owned by George Zekas, Kevin Switzer Jr., and the Sulky. And they're all from the inside. Keystone Orion kicks out for the lead. There goes Mad Dog. 3 wide. It's Omaha. Down inside. Cupcake Boss comes away racing in fourth. Chav Hanover moving up on the outside. Lane back to Smooth Acceleration. Gap of 2 lanes to Dazzling Lindy. And on the field, it's Northern Credit. Off stride goes Smooth Acceleration. Smooth Acceleration is off stride at the back of the pack as they trot by the opening quarter in 27-1. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Omaha takes command up on the outside. Here comes Keystone Orion, and now Keystone Orion comes on to get the lead. Omaha backs off in second. Mad Dog trots third. Cupcake Boss racing in fourth. Link back Chav Hanover, followed by Dazzling Lindy. Back trotting Smooth Acceleration. And true on the field, it's Northern Credit as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Sean Gray has Keystone Orion on the front end. Omaha right there in second. Advancing on the outside, here comes Chav Hanover underway from third. Halftime goes in 57-1. They straighten out down the backstretch. Keystone Orion shows the way. Chav Hanover on the attack on the outside. He's now second. Omaha boxed in towards the inside, racing third. There goes Dazzling Lindy moving up on the outside, second over, locked in towards the inside. Mad Dog racing in fifth. 3/4 here in 127-1. They're on the final turn on the outside. Chav Hanover, and now Chav Hanover takes command. Keystone Orion back to second. Up on the outside, racing third. Dazzling Lindy. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and it's Chav Hanover who cuts the corner with a 2-length lead. Dazzling Lindy on the outside now second. Far outside, here comes Mad Dog, but coming down to the wire, it's all Chav Hanover in front and going away. Mad Dog up for second. Dazzling Lindy was third. Time for the mile, 1:56-2. A 7-year-old big gelding by Explosive Matter out of Caramel Ranger. Chav Hanover trotting the mile in 1:56-2. And they're all from the inside. Current Yankee steps out for the lead far outside. There goes Dylan's Future from between horses. Stage West. Timbo Slice on the outside. Down inside, it's Ideal Reaction, followed by Sugar Daddy Controls. Length and a half back to Pembroke Justice. And true on the field, it's Crooked Sage. Paddock turn the first time. Dylan's Future on top by 2. Up on the outside. Off stride goes Stage West. Stage West has gone off stride. Quarter time goes in 26-4. Off stride at the back of the pack, it's Pembroke Justice. Up front, Dylan's Future showing the way. Rolling up on the outside, here comes Current Yankee. Ideal Reaction third. Timbo Slice fourth. Gap of 2. Sugar Daddy Controls. Followed by Crooked Sage, Stage West. And way back through on the field, it's Pembroke Justice as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Current Yankee on top by a length. Racing in second, Dylan's Future. Up on the outside, it's Ideal Reaction third. Halftime goes in 56-2. On to the back stretch they go. And Jay Randall has Current Yankee on top by a length. Dylan's Future giving chase. On the march on the outside, there goes Timbo Slice at the pylons. Ideal Reaction racing in fourth. Up on the outside, second over. Sugar Daddy Controls racing in fifth as they round the far turn. Current Yankee takes him by 3/4 in 125 flat. They're on the final turn. It's Current Yankee, and he's got the lead. Moving up on the outside and gaining ground. Here comes Timbo Slice, looking for the upset here at 16-1. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Down on the inside, Current Yankee has that lead. Right there on the outside, Timbo Slice. Far outside, Dylan's Future. They drive for the wire. 3 of them across the track. On the outside, Dylan's Future. Down inside, Current Yankee. It will be Current Yankee in front. Time for the mile, 1:55-2. Chris by Ard Major. Owned by Kathleen Brewer, trained by Artie Brewer. Driven to a new lifetime record by Jay Randall. back for the upcoming fourth race, a conditioned trotting event. The number 1, Dewey Dog, owned by Eric Dixon, driven by Tato Day. Number 2, Lindy on Stage, owned by John and Susan Muldoon, the driver Wally Watson. Number 3, A Blue Blood, owned by Martha Holden, Mike Graffam, and Judith Ambrose, driven by Nick Graffam. Number 4 is Pembroke Regal, owned by Bill Varney, driven by Heath Campbell. Prairie Romeo, number 5, owned by David Zuckerman, the driver Jim Hardy. Number 6 is Some Big Bank Hanover, owned by Mike and Mark Eaton, Bob McHugh, and Robert Griffin, driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 7, Gracie Under Fire, owned by Robin Crocier, Jay Randall driving, and number 8, Royally Raised, owned by the George Ducharme stable, Campbell Jr., Dixon, and Samedi, Drew Campbell. Fourth race trotters lining up and moving in. And they're off from the inside. A Blue Blood tries for the lead from between horses. Pembroke Regal up on the outside. Prairie Romeo down inside. It's Lindy on Stage, followed by Dewey Dog. Gap of 2 lengths to Some Big Bank Hanover. Gracie Under Fire. And trail in the field, it's Royally Raised. Paddock turned the first time, driving up on the outside. Here comes Pembroke Regal. And Pembroke Regal comes on to get the lead as they trot by the opening quarter in 27-2, and as they come by the stands for the first time. Heath Campbell has Pembroke Regal on top by a length. Blue Blood right there in second. Lindy on Stage third. Down inside, Dewey Dog racing fourth. Gap of 2, Prairie Romeo up on the outside, Royally Raised, followed by Some Big Bank Hanover, trail in the field off stride. Gracie Under Fire. Gracie Under Fire is off stride at the back of the pack. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Off stride goes Royally Raised. Royally Raised has gone off stride. Halftime goes in 56-3. They strain out down the backstretch. Pembroke Regal cruising along on the front end, heading toward that 3/4 mile marker. Blue Blood right there in second, followed by Lindy on Stage at the cones in third. Up on the outside, there goes Prairie Romeo racing in fourth. As they round the far turn, it's Pembroke Regal, and he's got the lead. A Blue Blood is second. Down inside, trotting third, it's Lindy on Stage. 3/4 here in 125-3. They round the final turn. It's still Pembroke Regal, shown the way by 2. Blue Blood giving chase toward the inside, racing in second. Up on the outside. Here comes Lindy on Stage, racing in third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and they're all chasing Pembroke Regal, who strides out to a 3-length lead. Gobbling up ground on the outside. Here comes Lindy on Stage. Lindy on Stage on the outside. Lindy on Stage coming on. Time for the mile, 154-4. Wally Watson. Lindy on Stage, trotting the mile in 154 4/5. On the outside, fourth, length back to Always a Gentleman and Park Lane Terror, and trail in the field, it's Winning Major. Paddock turned the first time. That guy in a green suit on top here, shown away by a length and a half as they pace by the opening quarter in 27-1. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Matathorn has that guy in a green suit, looking to make it 3 in a row. He leads it by a length over I'm a Beach Boy, tracking in second. Lions Legacy third. Moments That Matter fourth. Followed by Always a Gentleman, Park Lane Terror, Winning Major at the back of the pack. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, that guy in a green suit continues to lead. Advancing on the outside, here comes Moments That Matter. Moments That Matter on the attack on the outside. Towards the inside, I'm a Beach Boy. Those two heads apart, second and third. Halftime goes in 56-4. They strain out down the backstretch. That guy in a green suit shows the way, 3/4 of a length. Here comes Moments That Matter right there on the outside, a challenge. I'm a Beach Boy trapped in toward the inside, racing third. Park Lane Terror moving up on the outside, second over, up on the outside, shaking loose. There goes Lions Legacy, racing in fifth. 3/4 here in 125 flat. They're on the final turn. That guy in a green suit hanging tough. Moments That Matter grinding away on the outside. I'm a Beach Boy towards the inside, looking for racing room in third. Up on the outside, racing fourth. Park Lane Terror. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. That guy in a green suit has that lead. Moments That Matter right there on the outside towards the inside. I'm a Beach Boy, but in deep stretch, it's going to be that guy in a green suit, coast to coast. Moments That Matter was second. I'm a Beach Boy third. Time for the mighty winner circle number one. That guy in a green suit. A 4-year-old big gelding by Better's Delight. Adam Marina Hanover by Western Ideal. Owned by Katie Flaherty. Trained by Gretchen a third. Driven to victory by Matty Ice a third. That guy in a green suit pacing the mile in 152-4. That's 3 in a row for the fifth race is official. Here is the order of finish. On the track for race number 6. A conditioned trotting event. The person number 1, Panzano. Owned by the Spotness Stable, driven by Drew Monte. Number 2, Niccolo Hanover. Owned by Bill Varney, driven by Heath Campbell. Number 3, Stormbringer. Owned by Mona Dodd, the driver Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 4, Billy B. Owned by Joe Wheeler, driven by Wally Watson. I Have a Dream, number 5. Owned by the Jesmeril Stable, driven by Sean Gray. Number 6 is Marquise Lafayette, owned by the Great Horse Stable, driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 7, Piran, owned by Stewart, Wright, Wilcoxon, and Doherty. Nick Raffam driving, and number 8, Beantown Madness, owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, Jay Randall, and the Sulky. Post time for race. The trotters are making their way back to the starting gate. This field is in motion. And they're off from the inside. Niccolo Hanover going out for the lead. Right alongside there goes Stormbringer. Down inside, Panzano comes away trotting third. Billy B settles in fourth. Gap of a length and a half to I Have a Dream. Followed by Marquise Lafayette. Your trailers are Piran and Beantown Madness at the back of the pack. Paddock turn the first time. Stormbringer on top. It's Stormbringer on the front end with a rush on the outside. Here comes Niccolo Hanover to challenge for the lead. As they trot by the opening quarter in 28-4. They're in the stretch for the first time. Off stride goes Billy B. Billy B is off stride. And here comes Niccolo Hanover coming on to get the lead now. Stormbringer back to second. Panzano right there chasing in third. I Have a Dream is fourth. Gap of 2. Marquise Lafayette followed up by Piran, Beantown Madness. And true on the field back on the trot. It's Billy B. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Niccolo Hanover with the lead. Right there, Stormbringer is second. Halftime goes in 58-3. They strain out down the backstretch. Niccolo Hanover at 4-1 on the point. It's Stormbringer in second. Towards the inside, Panzano trotting third up on the outside. Here comes Marquise Lafayette underway from fourth. Now third will soon be second as they round the fourth turn. Niccolo Hanover shows the way. Here comes Marquise Lafayette on the attack on the outside now. Second, locked in towards the inside, Stormbringer racing in third. 3/4 here in 127-2. They're on the final turn. Niccolo Hanover 3/4 of a length. Marquise Lafayette draws alongside. Those two now heads apart. Bottled up towards the inside, Stormbringer up on the outside, racing in fourth, Piran. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home down on the inside. Niccolo Hanover responding now, opening up by 2. Marquise Lafayette, Stormbringer down inside, deep stretch. It will be Niccolo Hanover in front. Time for the mile, 155 and 3. Returning to the winner's circle, number 2, Niccolo Hanover. And the horses are on number 7. Number 1 is Joe Shooter, owned by John D'Antonio Jr., driven by Bruce Ranger. Number 2, Tobin's Edge, owned by Don Gauthier and Ralph Anderson, the driver Mike Stevenson. Number 3 is Lord Magnetic, owned by Jason Vafiates, and the Debron Stables, driven by Drew Campbell. Number 4, Patty All Day, owned by Catherine and James Carl Smith, and Mark Levine, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Rest Assured, number 5, owned by Kathleen Brewer, driven by Luke Hanners. Number 6 is Toonie Teen, owned by Robin Mangiardi and Mr. Michael Masaccio Jr., the driver Chris Long. Number 7, Colby Jack, owned by Garrett Hawkins, Sean Thayer driving. And number 8, Attaboy Chris, owned by Todd O'Day and Robert Jones. Todd O'Day in the sulky. Back to the starting gate. And they're off. There goes Rest Assured quickly out for the lead. Also on the move, it's Patty All Day down inside Lord Magnetic. Gap of 2 lengths to Joe Shooter, who comes away racing in 4th. A length back to Tobin's Edge. Followed up by Toonie Teen, Colby Jack, and on the field. That's Attaboy Chris. Paddock turned the first time. It's Patty All Day on top here, shown away by 2. Lord Magnetic is second, as they pace by the opening quarter in 26 and 4. And as they come out of the stands for the first time, Kevin Switzer Jr. has Patty All Day, 7-2 on the point. Tracking in second, Lord Magnetic. Rest Assured is third. Up on the outside, Joe Shooter, followed by Tobin's Edge up on the outside with a rush. Here comes Attaboy Chris, followed up by Toonie Teen. Colby Jack can see them all as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Patty All Day cruising along on the front end. Pocket Trip, Lord Magnetic giving chase. Underway on the rim, racing third. There goes Joe Shooter. Halftime goes in 57-3. On to the backstretch, and on to 3/4 they go. Patty All Day, the one to catch. Here comes Joe Shooter, moving up on the outside. He's now second. Lord Magnetic locked in towards the inside, racing third. As they round the fourth turn, Patty All Day continues to lead. Joe Shooter right there on the outside. Lord Magnetic towards the inside. Up on the outside, Attaboy Chris. Down inside, Rest Assured racing in 5th. 3/4 here in 125 and 4. They're on the final turn. Patty All Day still with the lead. Patty All Day shows the way towards the inside. Lord Magnetic. Joe Shooter on the outside will have to do better, dropping back in third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Patty All Day has that lead. Patty All Day trying to fend off Lord Magnetic, coming on and coming at him on the outside. Lord Magnetic on the outside. Patty All Day there, stride for stride. At the wire, it's Lord Magnetic coming on. Time for the mile, 154 and 1. The Debron Stables, trained by Kimberly Vafiates, driven to the 8th race. Number 1 is Tag Up and Go, owned by Lester Gilardi Jr. and Anthony Passafaro, driven by Sean Gray. Number 2 is Icing on the Cupcake, owned by Stephen Picarazzi and Brett DeRue, driven by Luke Hanners. Number 3, Dixie Slippers, owned by John and Susan Muldoon, the driver Wally Watson. Number 4, Ubanji, owned by Jonathan Applebaum, driven by Drew Monty. Caulfield, number 5, owned by George Zekas, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 6 is Always a Good Time. Owned by Stanley Boubier Jr., the driver Bruce Ranger. Number 7, Rich's Northern Dream. Owned by Diane Dunn and Bradford Valou. Jay Randall driving. And number 8, Carson Hill. Owned and driven by Todd O'Day. And they're off from the inside. Tag Up and Go kicks out for the lead. Mid-pack, there goes Caulfield. Rich's Northern Dream moving up on the outside away third. Down inside, Benji has dropped in fourth. Length back to Icing on the Cupcake. Followed up by Dixie Slippers. A length back to Always a Good Time. And true on the field, it's Carson Hill. Paddock turn the first time. Tag Up and Go has opened up a 2-length lead. As they trot by the opening quarter in 27-2, they're in the stretch for the first time. And Sean Gray has Tag Up and Go at 6-1, showing the way by a length and a half. Right there in second, Caulfield. Rich's Northern Dream at the pylons in third. Next in line, Benji, followed up by Icing on the Cupcake. Towards the inside, Dixie Slippers up on the outside on the rim. There goes Always a Good Time. And on the field, Carson Hill as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Tag Up and Go with the lead. Pocket Trip Caulfield drafting along in second. Halftime goes in 57-2. They straighten out down the back stretch. Tag Up and Go maintains a length and a half lead. Up on the outside, here comes Rich's Northern Dream. Towards the inside, Caulfield locked in, racing a third. Gap of 2. Benji at the cones in fourth. Gapping on the outside. Icing on to Cupcake as they round the fourth turn. Tag Up and Go shows the way. Right through the outside, Rich's Northern Dream towards the inside, Caulfield. Those two heads apart, second and third. 3/4 on the board here in 1:26-1. They round the final turn. Tag Up and Go, looking to go the distance. Caulfield begging for racing room towards the inside, racing in second. Up on the outside, Rich's Northern Dream. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Down on the inside, it's Tag Up and Go, and he's got the lead. Shaking loose on the outside, here comes Caulfield bearing down. Caulfield on the wide side towards the inside. Tag Up and Go, Tag Up and Go. Holds on. Time for the mile, 1:55-4. Safaro, trained by Matt Medeiros, driven to victory by Sean Gray. Tag Up and Go, trotting the mile in 1:55-4. Is Boogie Woogie J, owned by Tebow Hardy and Andrews, driven by Jim Hardy. Number 2, Come On Regs, owned by Zachary Vickerson, driven by Drew Monte. Number 3 is Stop Staring, owned by the Scheigert and Alley's Racing Stable. The driver is Sean Gray. Number 4, Unwritten Rule, owned by Anthony Ventriglio, driven by Bruce Ranger. Mickey, You So Fine. Number 5, owned by Dominic Longobardi, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 6, Kick the Dirt Up, owned by Mike Gerard, driven by Meta Third. Number 7 is Kid Dynamite, owned by Jonathan Applebaum. Luke Hanner's driving. And number 8, Great Pop-Up, owned by Scott Renz. Jay Randall in the sulky. And they're all from the inside. Boogie Woogie J going out for the lead. There goes Stop Staring. Also on the move, Unwritten Rule down inside. Come On Rex comes away racing in fourth. Mickey You So Fine is dropped in fifth. A length back to Kick the Dirt Up. Kid Dynamite. And true on the field, it's Great Pop-Up. Paddock turn the first time. It's Boogie Woogie J on top. Boogie Woogie J leads it by a length. Right there in second, Stop Staring. They reached the quarter in 26-4. They're in the stretch for the first time, and Jim Hardy has Boogie Woogie J out on top by length. Stop Steering is second. Down inside, Unwritten Rule up on the outside. Here comes Mickey, You So Fine, followed up by Kick the Dirt Up. Locked in towards the inside, Come On Regs, as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Moving up on the outside. There goes Kid Dynamite, and trailing the field, it's Great Pop Up. They're halfway home in 57 seconds flat. They straighten out down the back stretch. Boogie Woogie J shows the way, 3 points of a length. Mickey, You So Fine, right there on the outside, a challenge for the lead. Heading toward that 3/4 mile marker. Stop Steering, boxed in towards the inside, racing third. Poised on the outside, Kick the Dirt Up, second over in fourth. Down inside, locked in, Unwritten Rule as they round the fourth turn. It's Boogie Woogie J, 3 points of a length. Mickey, You So Fine, grinding away on the outside in second. 3/4 here in 1:25 flat. They're around the final turn. Boogie Woogie J still with the lead. Mickey, You So Fine up on the outside, 3 wide. Here comes Kick the Dirt Up. Kick the Dirt Up getting up on the outside, 3 wide. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and it's Boogie Woogie J. Sit down for the stretch drive, far outside, Kick the Dirt Up. Up the pylons, here comes Stop Steering, but it's still Boogie Woogie J. Deep stretch, it will be Boogie Woogie J in front. Time for the mile, 1:53-3. Circle number 1, Boogie Woogie J. 5-year-old big gelding by Sweet Lou. Out of Latza Matza by American Ideal. Owned by Tebow, Hardy, and Andrews. Trained by Jolene Andrews. Driven to victory by Jim Hardy. Boogie Woogie J pacing the mile in 1:53 3/5.